Counsel representing Mxolisi Nxasana say months into his job, his leadership was undermined. Police were sent to his hometown to uncover dirt on him, and after former President Jacob Zuma continuously pressured him to resign, he eventually gave in. But then Freedom Under Law took the former president to court for pushing Nxasana out.
Mr. Nxasana made it clear that the truth and his recollection was that he never requested to leave. And he reminded Mr. Hully that there were files and files of correspondence to that effect at his attorney's office. Coincidence or not, there's a burglary at his attorney's office. Those files are taken.
However, Nxasana accepting the 17.3 million didn't help his case as he seeks reinstatement.
He was also leading the NPA in the hands of the wolves who remained behind. So, in fact, the NPA was being abandoned, basically to a criminal syndicate.
Nxasana has agreed to pay back the money. Shaun Abrahams' counsel accused his predecessor of being opportunistic and argued that the 17.3 million amounted to a bribe. Abrahams insists his appointment was lawful.
If this case is just about one person, true, as Mr. du Plessis said, of course it's important when you prosecute a president or a former president. Of course it is, but then there's equality before the law. Everybody must be treated equally. And if the reason to preclude Mr. Abrahams from staying in office after they say it's fit and proper and that he had nothing to do with the appointments, then they should allow, if that's the only reason, then on the basis of just and equitable, he should be allowed to stay.
Critical to this case is the pending announcement of whether former President Zuma will be prosecuted and who, if any of the two advocates, will announce that decision. The Council for the Advancement of South Africa's Constitution says neither of the two.
It's vital, of course, that in the interests of justice, the decision which is made whether to prosecute a former president, and also, if so, how is to be prosecuted. Who will be the prosecutor? We have recent experience in our public life in other spheres of prosecutions which seem to be deliberately fudged in order to achieve an outcome. So it's not just whether to prosecute, it's how, who will do it. That those decisions should be made about a person made by a person in whom the public can have full confidence.
Judgment has been reserved.